So, thank you very much for having me
It's all right.
and agreeing to be interviewed for the acting edit of Alishia Love.
And action! It's a wrap.
You are a photographer.
Yes.
And what else?
So I have my own camera bag brand. So I would say maybe an entrepreneur, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the photographer and business owner, maybe. Yeah.
Cool. That is really cool. But let's start off with a really cool question, which is, if you were a song, what song would you be?
Oh my god. Oh, I don't know. Oh, actually, yeah. I love Jason Mraz. And there's a song of his called Make It Mine, and it reminds me of when I was like 17, 18, and it just always motivated me, because I'm quite driven, so I would say maybe that song
That
is,
one.
yeah, my song.
Good. It's your song.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I just thought of a really good one. I'm so sorry.
just go for it.
So it would actually be the Sunscreen song by Baz Luhrmann.
Oh,
That's
I
my
know.
favourite song out of all time. I don't know why I didn't think of that first, but yeah, because it's like it's got loads of good advice.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would
Yes,
be my
it has.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised you remember that song.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah. So what is your secret?
Oh, my secret. To do with like. Oh yeah, okay. So this is my favourite kind of quote. So maybe it's a secret. Write a list of 10 things to do every day and do them. Because you can maybe write them, but you don't do them. But if you do them, then you're constantly, achieving things every day. So yeah, that would be my secret, I would say.
And do you do that every day? Do you actually?
Yeah, I have to because I'm so busy at the moment. Well, now I have to, because if I don't, it just piles up and up and up. So
Yeah.
I just have to have a constant list of things to do. Yeah.
Good. So you started off training to be an actress.
Yes.
Did you actually pursue acting for a while, or?
I did for about 2 years, but I never really enjoyed it. Like my heart was never really in it, and I've always enjoyed taking pictures and photography. So I tried to do both, but my energy was kind of everywhere. It wasn't like focused on one thing. So I decided just to do photography, and then since then, it just got really busy because I was focusing my energy
On the wrong thing.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So actually, that's my quote over there. You give life to what you give energy to. Basically, if you give energy to something, you gain stuff back. So
Okay.
yeah,
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Another one of my favourite quotes.
There you go. It's going to be a quote full.
Yes.
So when did you? Why did you choose to study acting? What was?
I just really enjoyed it when I was school and sixth form, and I just loved just expressing yourself, the confidence it gives you, the feeling that it gives you when you perform. Yeah, and then I did a year at a place called Birmingham Theatre School, which was amazing. And yeah, it just makes you more of the person who you want to be, really confident, and there's a lot of things to be gained from that kind of thing.
Do you think it would help everyone to have a little bit of an acting?
Oh,
class,
absolutely,
at
yeah,
least?
definitely. There's so many people I've spoken to who didn't do acting or drama, who have recently one of my friends has got anxiety, and they've gone to therapy, and some of the techniques that you learn at drama school, like the Alexander technique and certain things, are things that you learn when you're studying acting. And that person said, I wish I'd have taken up drama, because it's just a lot of life skills as well, being confident, that kind of thing. So yeah.
And taking whatever comes your way.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. So when was the moment that you decided to actually, I don't want to act, I just want to photograph? What was the inner impulse?
Well, I think I knew that I enjoyed taking photos, but it's always that it's always that niggling thing of I don't want to seem like I failed, you know, and I'm not acting. So I always had it on my Twitter that I was an actor and a photographer, but I hadn't acted for ages. And then I was having a coffee with my boyfriend, and he said, look, you don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You know, you haven't failed just because you've decided not to do acting.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what, actually? You just get to a point where you're like, no, I haven't failed. I've just gone on to a different path. But yeah, that kind of thing. At that point, that was when I was like, okay, no, I'm not an actor anymore, you know.
Yeah.
I think you always hold on to that kind of, I'm an actor. Because you don't want people to think, oh, well, they've stopped acting, you know.
They quit.
Yeah, but it's just going to a different path.
I've already said this before, not to you, but I've said this before. I want to demystify the word quit. Because I think that people need to do what makes them happy, and if acting is not making them happy, then just go for something else.
Yeah, definitely. Because you really have to love it.
Yeah.
To pursue it, and if you don't have the love for it, you're literally just putting yourself through torture.
Exactly.
Basically,
you're not getting any money. You're not. Yeah. It's just. Oh, puppy. It's so cute. So, what made you choose, out of all of the branches of photography, to take headshots?
Well, it was naturally the thing I was drawn to the most because of like acting. It was the thing that I knew about the most and kind of understood, because I'd had headshots before, kind of understood what was needed. You okay? So I just naturally got into headshots, and I just really enjoy it. I was quite lucky that I found, you know, a
Your
path.
thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever try any other?
Yeah, I did wedding photography last year, which I didn't really enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed it, like it was lovely days, but it just wasn't something that I was passionate about. And because it's such a long day shooting weddings, and it's kind of like every day is very unpredictable. Whereas when you're doing headshots, you're with one person, you're focused on them, you're bringing out, you know, it's a very specialised type of photography, whereas every wedding is completely different, and you don't know whether you're going to like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you have just that one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
The bride is going to walk down the aisle once.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not going to...
Oh, yeah, pressure. So I was just like, I'm not enjoying this. Again, because I had booked loads of weddings, and then again, my energy was everywhere, and I was just too stressed and too busy. So I was like, no, I'm just going to stop the weddings. Stick to headshots. So
good. And where did the bag idea come from? Because that is not completely new. It's been a couple of months, but
I had the idea about the 20th of December 2016, and I just kind of I was hungover actually, and I was thinking like, oh, I really want this camera bag, and I want it to have these features, and just suddenly I was like, well, I could try and make it, you know, get it designed. So I just did a lot of research, and then it's a physical thing now.
Yeah,
it is
great. Your thing.
Yeah.
You've put something in the world.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Exactly.
So what is your favorite part of your job, being photography and now the new entrepreneur?
It's the kind of time like you can plan your weeks. Well, kind of. At the moment, I'm 3 months booked up, so you can kind of plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have unlimited holiday, you know, that kind of thing. And just working for yourself, you have to be the type of person that will get up and do the to-dos and do the things that are needed. But, you know, if you've got that mentality, it's the best job in the world, really, because there's a lot of freedom, really.
Yeah.
And I can have a dog at work, you know, like things like that. I can listen to my own music loud, you know, that kind of thing. It's just a lot of freedom, really. Yeah.
And your least favorite part?
I would say it's more than a full-time job. I say there's a lot of freedom, but it's, especially the past couple of years, it's been so busy that you have to sacrifice something, and a lot of the time it's me doing things, you know, or seeing friends, because you have the editing, the social media, the emails, the actual shoots, the packaging up the bags, the promoting the bags, like everything. It's just non-stop. So you have to be really on the ball. Like I couldn't come to work hungover because I just wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
That was probably the busyness.
And would you, with that line of thought, in this industry, in the acting industry, whatever branch you are, I feel like you always have to give something up.
Yes.
So what was the major thing that you felt that you had to give up in these years?
That's a hard question. I don't think I've actually given anything up. I think I've just tried to manage my time better. Well, trying and probably failing. But yeah, it's instead of giving up, it's kind of made me think, what do I need to do to be happier and and see my friends. So just kind of not booking maybe as many shoots in a week, or like when it was Black Friday last year, because it was crazily busy with the bags, delegating a retoucher to edit the shots.
Yeah.
So it's kind of time management, really, I would say. But I wouldn't say I've given anything up, really.
So a lot of people, like especially actors, they've given up either a steady relationship or traveling or something like that.
Yeah, I think you have to sacrifice, because it is a lot of work with acting, especially. Like I say to a lot of my clients, you have times where you work full-time and you're not acting for, say, 3 months, but that gives you the freedom in another 3 months to maybe not work and have more money, and then, get your show done, get your headshots done, and not have the pressure. So again, if you can kind of balance it out, maybe work really, really hard for 3 months and then enjoy yourself, But yeah, it's finding a balance, I think, because again, with acting, it has to be if you love it, you don't really care what you're giving up, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Good. And I don't know, probably when you were acting, you had your role models and your inspirations. Do you have some as well as a photographer, or do you just play it by ear?
Yeah, I kind of play it by ear. Like, I do have photographers who I think are great, but it's really odd because they're more kind of like fashion photographers, completely different to what I do. Or like, there is one photographer called, I can't pronounce her name, Annie Lebov.
Yeah, Lebowitz, something like
it.
that.
Yep. She's fantastic, like the way she poses people. But I kind of just like don't focus too much on
other people.
Yeah, kind of just do my own thing, really. And it seems to be
working.
Yeah.
It seems to be working so far, so good.
Yeah.
So were you always as organized as you are and as driven as you are, or was it something that you had to learn and put into practice?
Yeah, I was really unorganized when I was like a teenager, and the main thing that got me into like the way I am now is just I love a good motivational book, and my uncle gave me one when I was about 16, and I read it and I was like, oh my god, like this is amazing. It changed your way of thinking.
Changed my life.
Yeah, it really does. And there's loads of different books that you can read. And then when I came out of studying acting, I was like, oh crap, there's no timetable, there's nothing. If I want to make money, I have to kind of do it myself.
Yeah.
And I think it's the self-employed mentality of if you don't get up and do it, you're not going to make money. You could, that's as simple as that, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't stick to your own schedule and your own tick list, then nothing.
Exactly.
It's easy to just stay in bed watching Netflix the whole night.
And it's easy to kind of like say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll do this, But I've learned the older I'm getting is that you just do it. Like with the camera bags, I had the idea and I was like, well, I'm just going to do it. And if I lose money, fine. Luckily, I haven't. But if I was to say, oh well, I've got this idea. Then someone took the idea because you weren't like acting on it, and just getting things done. Yeah, I've lost track of what I was saying.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I will lead up. So you've already hinted that yes, but are you able as well to ask for help when you feel overwhelmed and when you feel like you're not capable of doing something to the quality that you wanted?
I find that quite hard. Because I think I'm quite an independent person, and I find it hard to ask for help because I just think, well, I can do it, it's fine. I can take it all on myself. But the past couple of years, when you're so busy that it's affecting, you're coming home at night and you're not switching off.
Yeah.
And when I got my retoucher who was editing my shots, I was like, because I've been editing my shots for like 4.5 years, and I was like, oh, and then it's actually, you're just trusting someone else, and it was fine, and it meant I was a lot less stressed. But yeah, I do find it still hard. Because I think it's just an independent,
And it's also because it's your name attached to these things, so you want them to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, because this might relate to your radio, but because I'm obviously a 27-year-old woman, I don't want to feel weak. I don't want to feel like I can't do it. So I feel like, because you just have the mentality, I can do it. And I think you have to kind of prove yourself, especially in the photography industry where there's not many female photographers. There's that constant proving yourself and you can do it, I think that's probably true with most women, really.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups for actors and acting related and all that. And every time someone asks for a headshot photographer, there is bound to be someone, apart from me, saying your name.
Yeah.
Was it all word of mouth, or what?
Yeah.
How does it feel as well to have so many people that not only trusted you with their photos, but recommend you to other people?
Yeah, I think because I'm a nice person, like I just try and I treat everyone as a friend, and that's just kind of relayed itself back when people are recommending me. It feels amazing because you're not just a photographer, you're a person that you're going to have a relaxed photo shoot with. But from the start, when I first started, I always asked people, can you just do a post, tweet, say how great the shoot was? I probably said it to you when I did your headshots, because it's just that little
help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And now it's got to the point where on like The Hustle or something, people just recommend, and it's fantastic because you put in that hard work when you first start, and now it's got to the point where I don't, people just recommend me off their own back, which is great.
Yeah. That is amazing. And I do recommend her very often. So, at this point in time, what is your dream goal? I don't mean like the end, like for me, I wouldn't say right now win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Right now my goal would be to be able to support myself only through acting. That's so what is your goal at the moment?
I would say with the photography, I'm kind of at a happy place. Like I'm really happy with where I am photography wise. My focus is mainly on the background, and that becoming like, I want to pitch it to John Lewis, like all these things, I've got all these ideas, like kind of that really pushing, and maybe not having to shoot every day, maybe doing 3 shoots, 3 days a week, and then the other, just doing the bags, because at the moment it's all over the place. I think that's kind of your goal at the moment, which I find really interesting because I think that everything in life needs to have a balance, and if you are only focused in one thing, then you're not going to be truly happy because you are obsessing. So it's really good to see that you are now so well established in a way with your photography that you do have the space in your mind to pursue other things, and I think kind that like comes and goes. Like sometimes, like this month, because I've moved studios, this has been mainly photography. Like I've focused on photography, but then maybe next month I focus on the bags, and I kind of like
go back and forth
so that I'm not neglecting too much either one.
But it's a good thing. To me, it's always a sign of success as well. So good on you. So, I mean, we do know more or less, like an office job, people get up, take their breakfast, go to work, take their jacket, turn the computer on, and that's their day. So what is your normal day? What is your routine?
Well, it's kind of changed now I've got the puppy. But I get at the moment I get up at about 7, take him out, potty training him, and then I get here for about 8:30, 9, emails, have breakfast if I remember, and then do a shoot, retouch, do a shoot, edit, bag, promotion, and I try to, it's a full-time job really, like I get here for 8:30, 9, and then I get back at like 6, 7, so it's constant, work, and yeah, that's my routine really.
So you do it pretty much all by yourself, apart from the people that come to get their photos taken. Do you ever feel alone?
It can be quite a lonely job, but I meet people, different people every day. But that's the best thing about getting a dog, is that he just loves to cuddle me while I'm editing. Yeah, but I think it can be quite lonely, but also like what's the word? How can I describe it? I wouldn't want to do any other job, because it's just the freedom,
And would there be a part of you that wanted to be in a bigger studio with lots of people, either working for you or you working for a team? Or?
I don't think so, no, because I think I just have my take on things, and it's quite nice to just be in my own space. I quite like my own company, and yeah, I find that if I was in an environment with loads of people, I wouldn't necessarily feel as inspired or creative. I think I'm better having my own business, whereas some people work better with other people. Yeah. But it's been so long that I have worked with other people, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, literally.
What is human contact? So for the social part of your life, are all your friends industry related? Are none of them industry related?
Most of them, my London friends, are all actors who I've met from acting. It's either those guys or friends from home, which I don't really see. So yeah, generally industry people.
Do you have any core friends that are not industry related? Do you have anyone else that maybe, I don't know, a nurse or a teacher or?
My friends from home, not in London.
Not in London.
No, I don't think so. Maybe my boyfriend's friends, very close with them, but they all work in an office together, which is a completely different lifestyle. But I think you kind of attract people who have similar lifestyles to you, because I don't think I would relate to anyone who worked in an office. Just don't have that.
Sometimes you don't even have conversation,
briefing or morning meetings. Whereas friends who are actors, it's all quite similar really, because it's all self-admin. Whereas for me, it's photography and stuff like that. I don't think so.
And do you find it hard with your acting friends to, I don't know about you, but I always feel like in a group of actors we are always talking about the same things, and it's always someone complaining about something? Or do you ever feel like you want to snap out of it and just have a conversation about, I don't know?
We don't actually talk about acting that much, because they're all actors, but they all have other things. Like one has a nail art business, one has her own theatre company, one is an air hostess, and so they all have different things, and I think it can get a bit boring, because I think when you're an actor, you're constantly working so hard and putting everything into it, and if people are always asking, what you're doing, it's almost better to not talk about it, because there's no expectation, so we just kind of don't really talk about it, to be honest. No.
Good. Because I think it's good to, when you're in your social life, to kind of let go of whatever.
Definitely.
Whatever is your day-to-day work. So, we talked about your routine and we talked about your social life, and taking from your routine, think of all the steps that you have during your day, and if you had to give that up, what was the one thing you would not give up for anything?
Probably the shoots.
Shoots.
Yeah, because that's what makes money. Really.
So the camera itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe my computer.
A lovely computer.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, you don't branch out a lot. You tried the weddings and it didn't work. But what are the jobs and the projects that you go for if someone was to propose to you to shoot, I don't know, something, I don't know, the premiere of a play or something like that? Would you go for it, or would you say, I'm good with my headshots?
Yeah, I've from experience, I have agreed to do stuff like that. So I did theatre photography, and I hated it because it's a long time shooting and different light setting, and I just didn't enjoy it. And I've learned as I've got older is if you don't enjoy it, just don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not worth, you know, the energy you're putting into it. So I am actually the past year saying no to things, because a lot of the time I would say yeah that's fine, you know, even though I don't want to do things, I would still do them. Yeah. And then I'd moan and be like to my boyfriend, I really don't want to do this, you know. But now I'm like, no, sorry, but that's not what I do. Like when people inquire about weddings, I say, I'm really sorry, but I don't shoot weddings anymore. And it's just because I'm so busy at the moment, I would just bombard myself with things, and I'd come to it and I'd think, oh, I wish I said no to this, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just good to specialise with photography anyway, with portrait headshots. Yeah. You know, maybe like fashion, full length, that kind of thing. But when it comes to like theatre or events or anything like that, I just say no.
It's just also, I think, knowing what you like and what you want, as well as you were saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's good. So, since you started your business, let's say it, what were the most challenging moments?
The photography business? Yeah. I would say probably understanding that you will grow, like you're not going to be fully booked straight away, and understand that, you know, so when I first started, my prices were not the same as what they are now, because obviously I didn't have as much experience, but understanding that you have to build your reputation, it's a lot of work, and just being patient, really, I would say, patience, and confidence as well.
So you think it was the time that you had to wait until you felt like it was gearing up?
Yeah, and it was kind of like, because I enjoyed it, you know, doing it for the enjoyment as well, and learning on the job, you know, and sometimes you'll have a day where it's crap, but being like, okay, that's fine, it's just because it was 40-mile-per-hour winds, and I'm not going to get the shot on that day, you know. Yeah. But also learning how to deal with those situations, you know, if it's raining and it's windy, you just go inside, like things like that, you just have to, you know, not panic.
Did you have anyone saying, I hate my shots, I don't know why I went for you?
No, I think, because I always make a point of saying to people, are you happy? And if they're not, we'll carry on, you know, like I'm not that kind of person. And also my reputation is important to me. If someone's not happy, we'll just stay until we get the shots, because one bad review can ruin you. Yeah. You know, if me going, we've run out of time, sorry, that I'm going to make that person very angry, and they'll go out of their way to ruin my business. So if someone's not happy, I'll go, okay, why aren't you happy? You know, why don't you like this side of your face? Blah blah blah. But a lot of things, it's kind of making people feel comfortable, and also not niggling on the things that they criticise about themselves. You know, and making them realise that I didn't notice that. You know. You have a lopsided face because it doesn't look like it, but you obviously think that because you see your face every day. And just kind of explain to people, and just spending the time with people to make them feel comfortable, and not ending a session unless they're completely happy.
Unless they're happy with the results. Yeah. And how did you learn? How did you study in any particular place, or was it really just learning on the job?
Yeah, I didn't study photography, but I've always been interested in it. and I've always I've had a DSLR camera. It was just practicing. Yeah, I think if you want to learn something, especially with photography, just do it. Research, because I didn't want to pay thousands of pounds to study to do something. And also, it's a lot of other things. It is about photography, but it's also about the kind of person you are. Because you could be the best photographer in the world, but if you can't direct someone, you're not going to get a good session. But yeah, it was just kind of me learning, teaching myself, really.
If you had to say one thing to the Alishia on her first professional shoot, what would you tell her?
Pretend you know what you're doing, even if you don't.
Roll with it.
Because really, it's confidence, isn't it? Because you have a good and successful shoot if you're confident and the person feels confident in you. But I think I did do that. I was, freaking out because it's my first client, but I was like, no, he can't know that I'm freaking out, even if he's paying me £50.
I know your feeling.
Yeah, and just be confident. I think confidence in anything, any form of life, because people just take you on first, glance, and if you're confident, people will just take you as confident.
Yeah,
and it's like acting, really.
It's like me with the interviews. The first time I did it, I was like,
and no one can tell if you're nervous. That's something. If you tell someone you're nervous, it's a really good. Beyonce did this interview, and the presenter was like, "You must have a flaw. You seem almost perfect." And she was like, "Why would I tell you my flaw? Because then you're going to know about it. I don't want you to know about my flaws."
Yeah,
which is a really good way to think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And so I follow you on social media as well and all that. And I know that you travel a lot.
Yes.
And
not so much anymore.
Well, puppy-wise, no. But yeah. What was your favorite place that you visited so far?
Italy.
Italy. Any particular?
Amalfi. Yeah, it's just amazing. Especially weather like today, it just makes you think, I'll be back. Food, sun, yeah.
What is your favorite food?
Oh God, probably Italian maybe, or spicy curry or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not really my thing. Spicy food. Yeah,
I love
fine.
spicy food.
So the show and the YouTube channel as well. It's very, at the moment, turned into starting actors. So if you were to give any tip or advice to someone that is starting now, or someone that is maybe feeling like you were feeling, maybe acting is not for me, what would you tell both of those people?
With acting, I think it's, again, do it because you love it, be confident, and be proactive, because it's the kind of job where you can make excuses and you can always hold on to the fact, I'm an actor because your Twitter bio says it. But you actually have to do things to get there. And, a lot of things, maybe, collaborations with theatre companies, initially to get your name out there, because you can't just expect the phone to ring or the email to buzz. Not many people make phone calls anymore. Just being proactive and just taking every day as it comes. And if you've done the hard work, it will, again, it's like giving your energy to something. Something will come out of it, I had no clue that I was going to be a photographer, but because I put my energy into headshots, it's become this thing that's doing really well. And also, if you're kind of not wanting to do acting, but don't want to admit it to everyone, just don't, I think, again, the older I'm getting, I'm learning to just not care what people think about you. People rarely think about you for longer than a minute. People are so involved in their own world that, people aren't going to judge your whole life because you've decided not to do acting.
True.
And it doesn't really matter what people think, really. So just be you, basically. Yeah.
Be you. Good. That's a good one. So when you have an actor in the room with you, Um, are they putting up a front of I just have to be perfect in these headshots? Can you break that first wall that they put?
I find people who do put up a front and kind of act how they think actors should act are the hardest people to shoot, because you're not getting the person. Mm-hmm. So I don't even ask, what have you been in? You know, where did you train? Like I don't really care about those things, because you're here because you're an actor. Like I don't think any less of that. You know, whether someone's been on the West End or whether someone's literally never had headshots before. I don't judge you on what you've done. I just basically say, have you got a busy day today? What did you do last night? You know, just normal questions, and that is what breaks the wall, the nervousness.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, you're coming to a room where you've never met the person before, and you don't know what the photographer will be like. It's a nerve-wracking thing, and also the pressure of everyone going, oh, you have to get it right, you know, blah blah blah. But really, like, it's just a picture of your face. It's literally a headshot. Like, and relax and chill and have a good time. And that relaxation, you're subconsciously going to get good shots. Mm-hmm. You know, you thinking, I need to get a good shot, you're not relaxing.
Yeah.
It's just about, you know, have fun. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I changed. Went on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of issues nowadays, and we were debating a couple of days ago if it was because we are more aware of it, or if actually there are more people in the acting industry with mental issues or mental illnesses. What is your opinion? Do you think that it is only because we are more aware and more open to talk about it, or do you actually think that there is more people nowadays that suffer from it?
I think it's been a thing since, you know, for years, but because before it was not spoken about, you know, like it's like, oh, you're not depressed, you're having a bad day, get over it. Whereas now, you know, because it's okay, you know, people aren't going to judge you, it's fine, and people feel more relaxed to maybe say, you know, I've got depression or I have anxiety. But yeah, I think it's definitely because it feels okay, you know, a safe thing, but you're not going to get judged, you know, because it is basically like if you break your arm.
Exactly.
It's the same thing, you know, it's your brain is a muscle, you know. And also like lifestyle, especially in London, you know, it's so expensive, you know, you're getting on the tube, which you don't get any daylight, you know, in the winter you're getting up at, you know, it's a lot of factors. And also the world that we live in, where we're on our phones all the time, constantly comparing ourselves to people, you know, it's not the simple life it was, you know, it's a lot of that, I think, contributes a massive amount. And just things like being on your phone literally when you get home all the time. Like I used to do it all the time, on my phone all the time, and like watching telly all the time. Like me and my boyfriend now, we don't have a telly in the bedroom because we just want to actually sleep, you know, and put our phones on charge away at the other side of the room, because you can get so
caught up.
And then you start to judge yourself on everyone's happy life online.
Yeah, there is this app for iPhone. I'm going to do a little bit of I don't mind. And it's called, I don't win anything from it, but, you know, I think it's really helpful for the insight that it gives you. It's called Moment, and it literally tracks how much time you spend looking at your phone.
Oh my God.
And it is scary. The first day I had it on, I was like, how can I have spent these many hours looking at my phone? The day has 24. Out of those, 7 to 9 I'm sleeping, so what am I doing with my life?
Mine would be insane, because it's hard, because my use on my phone also is to do with work. Like so I don't think I could separate personal to work, because it is all kind of combined.
Intertwined.
Definitely.
But it is scary that to me, I've always felt I've always felt that it was okay to speak because my mother was always very open about those things. But I think it's so scary, the amount of people that are coming forward saying, I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
And it's just, and maybe it's because I'm in the industry, but I feel like acting world is...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a plug for that. It's just...
I think as well, like, because you put everything, like personal creativity into acting, and say if you haven't had any auditions for a week, you start to think you're crap, you know, like, and it's so personal that it's inevitable, really.
It's your self-worth that is connected to it, and it shouldn't really be to that point, to that extent. It should be a little bit because, of course, it's you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they may just want someone blonde and you're brunette.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
but not
as simple.
Yeah. But it's hard when you're in that, you know, to think the way that you would advise someone else to. But I think it's also like recognizing that you have those thoughts or you're feeling a certain way and just being like, it's okay, you know. I'm just going to, maybe I'll go out for a run and, you know, the chemicals in my brain may help me in a certain way, you know, which is, I think, is quite good now because it's such an okay thing and it's okay to feel that way. It's not as much of a huge thing to deal with it or, you know, to go to therapy. You know, I think everyone should have therapy because it's just, you know, talking about your life, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know where I went from that.
It's fine. When you, as I'm sure you also feel down sometimes, what is your approach to it? Do you just go and take a bath? Do you go for a walk or run? Or what is your
I try and like be quite mindful of how I'm feeling, and if I'm feeling crap, I try and logically think about why I'm feeling that way. Like last week I had a really stressful week because I didn't have internet. I've been in this studio for 3 weeks and I haven't had internet for 3 weeks, and it was stressing me out because I had to do shoots, go to my flat, send the photos, come back. It was just mental, and I just got a puppy and everything was really busy, and I was just like, oh my god, I feel so stressed. And I was like, right, why do I feel stressed? I was like, okay, internet. It sounds ridiculous, but with a job like mine, and literally as soon as I got internet, I was like, okay, I feel like I can now go back to my work, you know. But also things like exercising, like if I haven't, you know, worked out for a week or so, I'm like, okay, well, that's gonna help me, you know, or eating healthy if you can. I mean, but you say that, but it's so easy to just get some chocolate, and that does help.
A pack of crisps.
Yeah.
I'm more of a savoury girl, but yeah.
Crisps and chocolate,
Oh, God.
But I think kind of being, what's the word? Telling yourself that, you know, these are chemical things that are going to make you feel better. Like sometimes I'll go a whole day and I'm like, oh, I feel shit. Sorry if I'm not that swear. And then I'm like, I haven't drank any water today. Literally, that's like having a car with no fuel in it. Literally, I need water. And then I have like a whole glass of water. I'm like, okay, now I feel okay. You know, so it's like a chemical thing as well. Thinking, you know, why do I feel this way? I haven't had any salad today. Like, you know, obviously there's more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being mindful of yourself
and doing what you can actively to
and not putting too much pressure on yourself. I think, especially in the world that we live in, putting too much pressure on everything.
And I think especially with acting and photography, and it is not brain surgery. It's not that deep. It is for you. It's a shoot. For me, it's a monologue or a song or whatever. It's not the end of the world. It's fine.
Yeah, literally.
So
you have to think, like, in 5 years' time, will I even remember this moment? Why I'm feeling stressed because I haven't got internet? You know, it's not the end of the world.
And if you do remember, you're gonna laugh about it. I was like, oh, I started that studio and I didn't have internet for 3 weeks and I had to run around. It's gonna be completely different.
Yeah, not making. Yeah, just laughing about situations, thinking like, why am I so stressed? You know. True. Yeah.
Good. So we are coming to the end. Yes. And I would like to ask you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. What is a question that no one has ever asked you that you desperately want to be asked?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think. I literally can't think of anything.
It's fine.
I think I'm not one for people asking me questions. So it's not really something that I really want. Do you know what I mean?
I'm fine with you not asking me questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe... I don't know. Sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's completely fine. Right, and I would like you to tell me a word that describes you.
I would say impulsive.
Impulsive.
Yeah.
Do you ever felt that was a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do things like I just think, oh, I need this now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll do certain things and I'm like, why did I rush into, you know, like my old studio, my dad came, it was a black carpet and I was like, I want white floor. So I rang my dad, I was like, Dad, can you please come down? I'll pay for everything. And he laid this lovely white floor in my studio. And then I saw my neighbour who had grey floor and I suddenly decided I wanted grey floor. And then I got my dad down again and I had to pay again for all of that to be done. And then I regretted it. And I was like, if I'd only have just waited, you know, I'm quite impulsive, which is good for things like, you know, background, you know, making decisions, doing it. But when it comes to things, you know, especially being sold things online, I'm such an easy sale. I'm like, oh, I need that in my life.
I've heard this. I don't remember who said it, but I know it was in a podcast. That you should, for instance, for kitchen applies, you should wait 1 year before you actually buy something.
Yeah.
And you need to have a list. And if on that list you write that you need that thing 5 times in that year, then it's worth buying. If you don't write it, or if you write it once, I need a new potato peeler.
Yeah.
Then don't. I mean, potato peeler is something stupid. You can just buy one. But I mean, like, I don't know.
I would never do that. If I go to Ikea, I'm like, I need everything. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I don't need any of these things. Too impulsive.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I meant to ask you before. We are the direct result of our choices, and it's not our big choices, it's our daily choices.
Yeah.
So what is it that you choose daily to do or to be or to say that makes you you?
I think choosing to do would be just doing. Sounds ridiculous.
Just doing your list.
Just doing things. Because I want to be the person I want to be, but how can I do that? I have to do things, to work, to do, you know, and also just being yourself, maybe? Yeah, being yourself. Because I think, especially being a young girl, well, maybe not so young, but, you know, in the industry, you know, 26 is quite young. Just being confident that, you know, it's not a hindrance to be a young woman. Because I think people can kind of think, oh, you're so young, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just being you and knowing that you're, you know, if you have an opinion, it's not a wrong opinion or it's not a right opinion.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, if that answers your question.
It has. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to talk to me. I don't actually really consider these interviews. I just want to learn more about the people. And I think I learned a lot about you, which is lovely. Thank you very much.
Very good at asking questions.